Has your bunny ever woke you up way too early in the morning? So this morning, I woke up to the sound of one of my bunnies thumping repeatedly. A lot. Philip used to do that before he was neutered. He would thump all the time. He would wake me up pretty much every day. And usually I am woke up by the bunnies because they start playing when they wake up in the morning, ripping cardboard, throwing their bell ball around, stuff like that. It's not out of the ordinary to get woken up by one of my bunnies, but today it was Tucker who was thumping. And I don't think I've ever heard him thump before today. So usually when something like that happens, I kind of poke him and say, hey, go back to sleep, settle down, let me sleep. But he kept doing it. And so I got up and I pet him a couple times, made sure everything was all right. I don't know, maybe something scared him. And he seemed to settle down a bit, so I went back to bed and he immediately started thumping again. And so at that point, the question was not whether something scared him, but whether something hurt him. And so I started looking around his cage, and it looks like he chewed on his floor pretty good. So that got me a little concerned. So I picked him up, and I got him out of his cage, and I started feeling, and his belly was a little bit tight and tense. And so it looked to me like he had some gas, which is not a good thing with bunnies because when they get all bloated, then they feel full, and so then they don't eat food. And so gas can very easily lead to stasis, which is life-threatening. So, of course, it's way too early, but I got up anyway, turned on YouTube, started watching that stuff, and I just kind of held him, and I massaged his belly for a while. Eventually, he got fed up with me massaging his belly, so I put him down, and I let him run around for a while, and he didn't run around nearly as much as he usually does when I let him out. Part of that's probably because it's early in the morning, and usually exercise time is in the afternoon, so maybe he just wasn't ready for running, but I couldn't really get him to eat either. He was eating his Sequels, which is good. And I got him to munch on a little bit of hay, but for the most part he wasn't really hungry, and I guess that's not surprising to me. He doesn't usually eat this early in the morning, and so that maybe that's normal, but after massaging him and letting him run around for a little while, which is good to let them run around because when they jump around it helps break up the gas bubbles and maybe helps push them through so that they can get over it just a little bit faster. So now his stomach isn't quite as tense. It is still a little bit tense and kind of concerning. Hoping that I don't need to take him to the vet. I have to go to class here in just a little bit, and I'll be gone for about an hour. And I'm going to leave him with some extra orchard grass hay, which is sweeter, and maybe he'll eat that up because it's a little different than what he's used to. I'm also going to leave him with a little bit of lettuce because he does like lettuce. I haven't been able to get him to eat it yet, but maybe he's just not hungry this morning. So I'm going to leave him with lettuce, and maybe when I come back after class, he'll have eaten that lettuce. So gas is dangerous. It's not something that bunnies should have. If your bunny's farting or if you're hearing loud gurgly noises from your bunny, that's probably a bad sign, and you want to check that rabbit very quickly and make sure you know what's going on. I know some people give drops for gas. They're infant gas drops that you give to babies when they're gassy. I don't have any on hand right now, so he's acting pretty normal, I'd say. A little poop head, for the lack of a better word. I tried to lay back down and get a little bit more sleep while he was running around, but he would just not stop trying to get into trouble. He was hopping back behind my desk and chewing on my chair that I'm sitting in, and he was scratching at the carpet, trying to go say hi to Philip. So, needless to say, I'm pretty tired today. But I'm going to go to class now, and when I come back, I'll make another video to update you on what's going on. I'm back from class, and the verdict is he's feeling much better. So, very thankful for that. Like I said I would do, I put some lettuce into his cage when I left. I was gone for about 2 hours, and the only part of it that's left is the nasty white non-nutritious part, so I don't mind that so much. He ate the whole thing. And right before I left, I stuck some orchard grass hay into his litter box, and he was already eating it before I left, so it was obvious that he was feeling better. And when I got back today, he was back to being his lazy old afternoon napping self. So there he is, right there. Even when I thought he was having trouble with gas, I think I said he was eating his sequels, so that was good, and he's eating just fine right now. And when I checked his belly, when I got back, it's no longer tense and full like it was. So I think that we've got past the gas, and if your bunny ever has trouble with gas, the first thing I would do is first make sure you watch what they eat. If they stop eating entirely for like 4, 5, 6 hours, that might be the time to call the vet. If you notice that they are gassy and maybe they're in pain, go ahead and give them kind of a belly massage, give them some strokes and scratches on their nose, and let them know it's okay. They'll be fine, and so they don't need to worry about it and get all stressed out, which will just make things worse. And then if you can, give them some extra exercise time to be able to jump around and work that out. Even if that exercise time is getting into trouble, as was the case with Tucker today, it really helped, I think, getting him up and running around. So obviously you can see his litter box isn't quite straight back there. He's been rearranging his house a little bit, and part of that, he was sleeping behind his litter box because I covered up a lot of the floor with a piece of cardboard so that he doesn't chew it. And so he was trying to get back. He really likes the cool tile floor that's in there. But he was ripping it up, so I had to cover that piece up. And so he had to find a new place behind his litter box, I guess. Yeah, and this is not a video about GI stasis. I plan to do one of those in the future, but just in general, you want your rabbit to eat, and if your rabbit stops eating, especially if they have gas, you might want to try other different foods. In this case, I used a couple different kinds of hay that if he wasn't eating the regular hay, maybe he'll eat one of the other kinds of hay. And then I also gave him some lettuce, which is, super easy to chew and delicious, I guess. And I washed that off to get some extra water on it, which helped keep him hydrated. You want to keep their digestive tract hydrated. That's really why GI stasis is a problem, because their intestines dry out and then it gets clogged up and can't move. So I washed that lettuce, and he ate it, and he seems to be doing just fine. So thankfully, that's going to be it for today. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, make sure that you hit the subscribe button so that you can catch up on all of our new videos as they come out. And as always, my name is Alex with Bunny Blog, and I'll see you later.